Dear students, today is the 7th part of the basic structure of the nuclear physics. In your the previous class, in your the nuclei of your the 6, we discussed about the fission and your the fusion, and detailing about your the fission we have discussed. How to remember the fission and the fusion, that also we discussed, and in your the fission chapter, how that fission process is going on, what amount of the energy it produces, and where it to be the used, about that one we also discussed with your the certain numericals. And that numericals which I have given to you on your the nuclei of your the 6, I think you must have calculated its the value, and today we will first go through that one, and then we will switch over for your the nuclear fusion one. How the fusion and the fission to be remembered, that also we discussed yesterday. The fission, it starts from your the Odia letter of your the phi, and the fusion, it starts from your the Odia letter of the fu. So, phi for your the phitiva and fu for your the fuliva. So, phitiva means when a greater one to be your the split into the lighter, then that is your the phitiva. So, that is your the fission. Means the fission is that type of the reaction in which a heavy nucleus to be dissolved or to be split into two or more constituent parts with the liberation of certain amount of the energy. But most of the books it has been written, it only splits into the two parts, and one of the example is given uranium with your the barium and your the krypton. The same uranium, it can be split into your the two parts with the 3 neutrons, and that is the 2 parts with your the 2 neutrons, 3 neutrons. But that 3 neutrons, it will give you for your the binary one, there are also the tertiary also, and the so more things also you will come to know in your the higher studies. And today we will go to find what amount of the energy being your the liberated from your the fission reaction, and if the energy is liberated, that energy is nothing but it comes from your the dissolve of its the mass, and what amount of the mass is it is dissolving, according to that the energy is your the producing. If that dissolving mass is your the appreciable in amount, then that is not your the most useful, but that is very your the negligible amount. And what negligible amount of your the mass of that nucleus, it provides your the that such amount of the energy. Let us now discuss about that one. So, we came to know that if a heavy element, that is your the X, it divides into your the two parts, that of your the Y and your the Z, with the liberation of your the 3 or 4 or also 2, that amount of your the neutrons N01 with your the some energy. Suppose that two parts are your the Y and your the Z. I said that most of the elements that gives your the binary fission, and the 4 out of the 1000 fission that provides your the tertiary one. So, if this X we have taken, that is the uranium of your the 92 of your the 235. If this is the uranium of 92 235, that is your the Y and your the Z. Suppose you will take approximately that is your the 240, and these two are your the comparable size, and if they divides into the two parts, let us take 120 and your the 120. And from your the binding energy curve, you know that the 240 which is the uranium, it has its the binding energy per nucleus, that is your the 7.6 of your the MeV, and these two are your the to the peak positions, they are having your the energy of 8.5 MeV, that is also the average of your the 8.5 MeV, but the maximum value is the 8.8, which is given by your the iron that we have discussed. So, this is your the 7.6 and this is your the 240 of your the nucleus. Then what is your the total energy here? The total energy, these to be multiplied, means 7.6 into of your the 240, that will give you the 18 14 of your the MeV. And this is your the 120 into 8.5, this is also 120 into 8.5, and this will give you the 1020 MeV. This is your the 1020 MeV. And these two when to be are the added, then that will give you the 2040 MeV. This is the 2040 in your the product side, that means it is the daughter shape, and this is its the parent nuclei. And from these two, it is clear that there is a liberation of the certain energy, and the energy liberated is equals to your the 2040 minus 1814, that is equals to your the, this is the 26, that is equals to the 2. So 226 of your the MeV, that is for its the maximization. But if we take its the accurate value, let us take it is averagely of your the 200 MeV. So this uranium of your the 240, that gives you the 226, but this 240, that is your the 235 with your the 1 proton, 1 neutron, that will give you the 236. So out of the 236 mu, it gives you the energy of your the 200 MeV. But we know, we want to find if this amount of energy being liberated, that energy liberation is comes from its the mass defect, or that such amount of the mass it being lost by your the nucleus, due to which according to the mass energy formula, that mass is converted to your the energy. And we know that, but we know 931.5 MeV energy is comes from your the 1 AMU, means from 1 AMU means atomic mass unit, from 1 atomic mass unit the energy liberated is the 931.5 MeV, that we have done on your the probably in the nuclei 5. So 1 AMU will give your the this, means 1 AMU is equals to your the 931.5 MeV. So how much AMU is there here? That is equals to your the 236 of your the. So that 236 AMU will provide your the 931 MeV gives you the 1 AMU mass, from the 1 AMU mass. What amount of the MeV is liberated? So for the 1 MeV, that is 1 by 931.5. So 200 MeV of the energy will give you 200 by 931.5 AMU, that is the 0.23 AMU. So 0.23 AMU, you just imagine what size of mass that is. 1 AMU is your the 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg, minus 27. That means that is the very, very small portion, and out of that it is only your the 0.23. Means if uranium nucleus is there, if this amount of the energy being your the liberated, then this amount of the mass it is being your the losing. And if that amount of the mass is losing, what percentage of the mass it is losing? So next we will find percentage of mass. What percentage of mass it is lost? So that percentage of mass, how will you find? This percentage of mass is lost from your the 236 of your the AMU. So percentage will be the 0.23 by 236 into 100. So 0.23 by 236 into 100, if we make it the percentage, it is approximately of your the 0.1. Means only 0.1 fraction of the mass is producing such type of the energy, and if whole of the mass to be the lost, then what amount of the energy it being the generated, that will be useful or that will be the evil for the society. And if we will control that energy, then that is the useful. If we will not make it the control, it is out of our the control, then it will be the hazard for the society. That hazard is nothing but here the atom bomb, and utility of that one is your the nuclear reaction, a nuclear reactor. And inside the nuclear reactor, the energy which being here the generated due to the emission of here the 2 or 3 or the 4 of here the neutron, as in the chain rule we have seen. Out of that neutrons, if some neutrons to be the control, means if this is your the uranium and one neutron to be the bombard, then what will happen? It will give you the 3 neutrons. That 3 neutrons again it will come with here the uranium atom. This is your the uranium atom, this is the uranium atom, this is another uranium atom, from where again 3. So if we will make the control chain reaction, means out of these, suppose this and this to be the restricted, this and this being the restricted, this and this being the restricted. So number of the neutrons will be the less, therefore the energy can be the generated in the particular interval of your the time. So that thing we can explain from your the nuclear reactor. So if we will come for the nuclear reactor, so the energy released, the energy comes from your the fission process. So each uranium 235 atom has the mass of the 3.9014 into 10 to the power of minus 25 of your the kg. The total number of your the atoms in your the 1 kg of the uranium is 235, can be your the found as your the follows, means number of the atoms in 1 kg is equals to this one, and the number of atoms in 1 kg of the uranium will be the 2.56 into 10 to the power of 24 of your the atoms. Then what energy to be the liberated? The total energy is the energy per fission into number of your the atom, as we have discussed here. Per fission means, you see here makes your the fission, means here this uranium being your the breaks, and when this neutron comes here with another neutron, then that uranium to be your the break. So this is your the first fission, then this one is your the next fission, next fission, next fission, it will continue. So per fission what amount of energy, then the total number of the atoms present, that to be your the multiplied. So total energy is energy per fission into number of your the atoms. So energy per fission, as we have seen your the previous slide, that is the 2.385 into your the 10 to the power of minus 11 into of your the 2.56 into 10 to the power of 24. The total energy is 6.1056 into 10 to the power of 13 joule. But this we have derived in your the MeV. If this is in your the MeV, this can be converted into your the joule. So MeV means this 200 into 10 to the power of 6 of your the EV. M means your the million, so that is the 10 to the power of 6. And this 10 to the power of 6 of your the EV can be converted to your the joule. 1 EV is equals to your the 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. That is your the 1 EV. So if you make that one, then that is the that much of your the joule. So this is your the energy released. If that energy is released, we can make it the control by your the nuclear plants in which the nuclear reactors are used. And that nuclear reactor, as per your the figure, it has your the different components. One is it's the control rod, one is it's the containmental cell, one is it's the coolant, one is it's the generator, one is it's the that is called your the what that is called your oscillator. The next one is your the water supply, and one is your the turbine. These are the different parts. Suppose this type of the fuel we have taken, and that fuel being your the given some energy, and I already explained that energy which is required per of your the neutrons, that is the only very few amount of the energy, which is that of your the thermal heating energy we are using. So if you will make the heat to that of your the fuel, then the tremendous amount of the energy to be your the liberated, and with that tremendous amount of the energy, the neutrons to be your the emit, and that neutrons to be your the control. As I said, that neutrons to be your the control. If that neutrons to be the control, then there is a control rod is there. That control rod is your the adapting that your the neutrons, and the less amount of the neutrons are your the passing. When the less amount of the neutrons is passing, as per your the calculation, per fission it produces this amount of the energy. And when that energy with the liberation of your the energy, that energy makes your the that surrounding to bear the heat. To cool down for that one, we are using the coolants. That coolants will flow through your the rods, and that rod is surrounded by your the water pipes. That water pipes being your the heated, means in your the heating chamber some coolant cold water to be the placed, and through that one that tube being the inserted as per your the diagram, and that water to be the heated, and that becomes to your the steam. That steam will pass through your the turbine, and that turbine is connected with your the AC generator with the implementation of the magnetic field. And when that turbine to be your the rotate, then that will generate your the energy, and that amount of the energy which is received in our the Bharat, that is only 3.33% of that one. And this is your the one vivid explanation about your the nuclear reactor. So, as we discussed, for the fission, it can be used in your the two different ways, either in your the right side or to your the left side, means in your the good regions, for your the bad regions, means we have to use in your the betterment of the society and for the evil of the society. So, for the betterment of the society, as we discussed, for the invention of the nuclear reactor. So, for your the good sense, a control chain reaction in a reactor used in your the nuclear power plants to produce the electricity, that is it's the main sense of the using in your the proper way. But in your the different way, where the fission process being your the used, that is your the atom bomb, and I said in my last class that atom bomb being your the first dropped in your the August 1945 of the 6th and the 9th day in Hiroshima and your the Nagasaki. So, this is about your the fissions detailing explanation, and next we will go for your the next reaction, that will not purely treated as the reaction, that is one type of the process, and that is your the nuclear fusion one. So, now we will discuss about your the nuclear fusion. So, fission and fusion, how to remember, just you thought for your the last class. So, now it is your the fusion. So, it is a process in which, or this is a reaction as we have written for the fission, in which, though this is the FU, FU means it to be the enhance, increase, in which two lighter nucleus, two lighter nuclei to combine to form a heavy nucleus with release of energy, with release of energy. So, here two lighter nuclei. So, which one is the lighter nuclei? As per your the elements which are discovered, that is your the hydrogen. So, 1 H1 with your the 1 H1, these are the lighter. Then it will go for the helium, lithium, here the different things, but we have written to the lighter as possible we have to accept. So, 1 H1, 1 H1, that two to be or the combine will give you the heavier one, and that heavier is equals to your the 1 H2. You see here 1 H1 means there is a proton, and here there is a proton. And though it is the 1 1 means your the two protons with your the 2 neutrons, this is the number of the proton number, and this is your the proton plus of your the 1h1. 1h1 means it is the very your the lighter one. So 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, 1 plus 1 is equals to your the 1. So here there is a 1 proton is not there on that side. Then what will happen? That proton to be or the converted into your the neutron. So when the proton to be converted into your the neutron, you see here it is the 1 with the 2, means the 1 proton and the 1 neutron. Here there are the 2 protons, but here there are the 2 constituent, 2 particles, smaller one. One is the proton, one is the neutron. So proton is the proton, but another proton is converted to your the neutron. When the proton is converted to your the neutron, it will produce your the positron with your the neutrino and a release of your the some amount of the energy, that is the 0.42 of MeV. Are you clear to my students? This is the proton, 2 protons, but here it is only the 1 proton and the 1 neutron. Because it is the proton, it is the mass number means proton plus neutron. So here there is a 1 neutron, but here there are the 2 protons, means 1 proton converted to the neutron. When 1 proton converted to neutron, it will produce here the positron with here the neutrino. But if the reverse one, as we discussed in the 2 classes back, if a neutron is converted into the proton, it will produce here the electron with here the this one, means anti-neutron or anti-neutron you can say. So this amount of the energy it is the producing. But now we have to discuss how this thing to be or the produce. You see, this is the 1 proton is there, means proton means it is the positive in charge. This is the proton means this is also positive in charge. So these 2 charges to be or the combine means they to be come very near to each other, but they will not come directly near to each other, because between the 2 there will be a force. If it will go towards that one, due to that force it to be changed its the position, because this is the plus charge, this is the plus charge, means 2 positive charges will repel each other. So as it will go nearer, if we will try, then there will be a repulsion. So they will not come near to each other. But if we will try to take them very near to each other, the repulsive force is there, but though these 2 are your the nucleus, between the 2 nucleus inside the nucleus is a very small size, inside them these positive charge particles are present. And if they will come very near to each other, means there will be a nuclear force, as we discussed. That nuclear force is short range force. That is a short range force. So due to the range means your the distance is very short, the nuclear force will exist, and that nuclear force will take to them together. So that is not actually happening very generally. As for your the fusion one, if we will give you a thermal energy, then the process being your the started, reaction being your started. But for the fusion, it will not start that clear directly. So for that one, what we have to do? Suppose these 2 charge particles, out of them, one of the charge particles to be taken away, and we have to shift it to another position. And if we applied some external force to that one, means it to be moved towards your the another particle, and that external force means that is in terms of your the energy. That is in terms of the energy, though they are the very small placed near to each other. I will give you one example. Suppose you have some copy in your the box, means in your the taken box which is called the geometrical box, and your the script is with you. You know that copy is with you very near to your the copy, means your the writing copy, but can you take it easily towards that one? that is very near to that one, but that is not coming very easily. And if you will collect here the energy, no, I will take and I will write, means for that energy, means if we are supplied that amount of the energy, then that to be the approach to that one. And when that energy to be the supplied, it observed that amount of the energy which to be required, that is your the 400 keV. This amount of the energy we have to given to that one. And when that amount of the energy to be the provide, that is your the kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy is equals to your the half kT. So K means that is your the Boltzmann constant, that is your the Boltzmann constant, and T is your the temperature. And if that K is the constant and this is the half, and if you rearrange that one, then that T value will be your the 3 into 10 to the power of 9 Kelvin. 3 into 10 to the power of 9 Kelvin, means 3 into 10 to the power of 9 Kelvin. Just thought, what is that amount of your the temperature? That amount of the temperature, if it will created near between your the two protons, then this process to be your the taken place. Now from your the kinetic energy which to be required for the 400 keV, the temperature produced is your the 3 into 10 to the power of 9 of your the Kelvin. This amount of the temperature to be required here, if your the two lighter particles to be your the combined, means this amount of the temperature means the temperature increase. When the temperature increase means there is a vibration. So due to that vibration, that two lighter nucleus will come very near to each other, and during that time there is a chance of their the coalition. So at that time it will give you the blending of melting. Blending of melting means if the two heavy elements to be the taken and they to be supplied with your the more amount of the heat, then there is a chance of the melt, and when they being your the melt, at that case they to be the pressed with one another, and that type of the process is the blending of your the melting. That is nothing but that is the nuclear fusion process one. So if that amount of the temperature to be the created, how that amount of the temperature to be the created? When that amount of the temperature is there, means the atom, the molecules are break up. The molecules are break up to atoms. The molecules to be break up means here the H2 will break to your the H and your the H, and these atoms with that amount of your the energy, the orbital electrons which are present around your the atom, as in our atomic physics we came to know that the electrons are revolving around your the nucleus, means the orbital electrons to be ionized. The orbital electrons to be the ionized means if this is the positive, the orbital nucleus to be the ionized, and here also the orbital nucleus to be the ionized. And when the orbital nucleus are ionized, this nucleus is without of your the electron, means we can say bearing nucleus. Bearing nucleus means the electrons which are outside of that one, that electrons being your the excited towards the outermost one, that means that is the ionized. So the bearing nucleus will form electron clouds. They will form the electron clouds, and formation of that electron cloud is known as your the plasma. As we know that if a solid on heating, it gives to you the liquid, liquid on heating, it goes to your the gaseous, and this gaseous on heating, that goes to your the plasma. So this type of the reactions or your the developments are going on, which is it's the inner meaning of your the fusion. So if that plasma being your the formed, the energies to be your the developed. So how that energy being your the coming for that position, and according to your the binding energy per nucleons with your the nucleons, binding energy per nucleons with the nucleons, as we discussed for your the fission also. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that is the 9. So for the hydrogen we have taken for your the hydrogen. So for the hydrogen, the binding energy per nucleons is how much? Please remember, 2 classes ahead we have discussed, that is the 1.1 of the MeV. So this is the 1.1 MeV. So suppose this is your the 1.1, means this is the 1, means this is the hydrogen. Suppose this is your the 7 and this is your the approximately to your the 7.2 for your the helium. So the hydrogen. So how many hydrogens we have taken? 2 hydrogens, means 2 hydrogen nuclei we have taken. 1 H1 and your the 1 H1. So these 2 on combine, they will gives you the helium. They will gives you the helium by its the further processing. So helium means, you see the helium is here. So the hydrogens which have its the energy 1.1, now it achieves to the position of your the 7.2 to 7.6. Within this interval it will exist. So if you will go to or more higher to your the higher, the maximization will be your the iron, and that maximization range will be your the 8.8 MeV. So according to your the binding energy per nucleons, the theory shows that these H and H, when they combine to give you the He, so that will be your release some energy. Because here the energy is 1.1, here the energy is your the 7 to 7.6. Therefore, it is increase per nucleons. So if the number of the hydrogen nuclei are there, then the energy to be the generated from that one. And on your the reaction, we will came to know how that generation of the energy is possible. Means suppose we have taken 1H1 with your the 1H1. So 1H1 plus of your the 1H1, it gives you the 1H2 with your the gamma emission and your the some energy E plus with your the some energy 0.42 MeV, as I have seen, I have written earlier this one. So again this 1H2 with your the 1H2, it gives you He23. It will give you He23. You see HH, this will your the He23. With here the, this is the 1 plus 1 is equals to your the 2, this is the 2 plus 2 is equal 4, that is equals to your the 3. So this is equals to your the E01 with here the release of the some energy, that is equals to your the 5.49, or approximately you will take 5.5 of your the MeV. Then this He23 plus He23, they will give you He24. They will give you He24. You see 2, 2 is the 2 to 4, here it is the 2. So 1, 2, 2 must be required to the right side. 3 plus 3, that is equals to the 6, but here we have the 4. So 2 more are required. So that 2 more you will be likewise with here the energy, and that energy liberation will be the 12.86 of your the MeV. So is it balanced? 2, 2, 4. So this is the 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, that is the 4. This is 3, 3, 6. This is the 4 plus 1 plus 1. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 1 is the 6. You see, here comes again you're the 1H1 and you're the 1H1. And you see 1H1 and you're the 1H1. That process will go on continue. So how that process is going on continue and where it being here the happens, that one is near the solar system. That one in the solar system. You see in the solar system, the energy amount at all stages will remain in its the peak position. So is there any the coal being here the melted there and the coal being here the boiled there? The sun devata, it producing the coal there, and due to which it produces the energy? That is not here the fact. The fact is, in your the solar system, the 90% of your the particles which are revolving, that 90% are your the hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen and your the helium. Then the 10% are your the rest with organic complex. Some organic complex is also formed there. So out of the 90% of your the hydrogen and your the helium, these hydrogen and heliums are the lighter or the heavier particles? They are the lighter particles. So though in your the solar system, that means in your the sun, the 90% if the hydrogen and the helium, they are the lighter particles. You see these two lighter particles, when they combine, the process which they are showing, that process is your the fusion. Though the 90% of your the lighter particles are there and their combinations will go on and they will make your the fusion. So in the solar system, there is no chance of your the fission. There is no chance of your the fission. The fission will never happen in your the solar systems. But the question is, so how this H and the H to be or the combine? And if that H and H to be combined, it requires your the that amount of the energy. So what that amount of the energy is required? That is equals to of your the 1.5 into 10 to the power of 9 Kelvin. This amount of the heating effect it is required, and that heating effect will be provided from your the kinetic energy of the 400 keV. So how that amount of the temperature are creating there? And for that one, you know that these are the lighter particles. Means the lighter means helium and your the hydrogens in the gaseous forms is there. So from Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution of velocity, Maxwell and Boltzmann, they given a distribution of the velocity of the gas particles, and according to that, if this is your the fraction of particles and this is your the speed of a particle, if the fraction of the particle which is the speed of the particle to be taken, that graph will show you likewise. Means this is its the V RMS. What is RMS? That RMS is a railway mail service? No. That is the root mean square velocity. And in your the chemistry, for your the kinetic theory of the gases, you have know the V RMS and your the V of your the mean value, the V of your the peak value, means the peak velocity, the mean velocity, the RMS velocity. If this is your the RMS velocity, then it observed that suppose this is your the fraction one, and this is its this is your the speed one, this is its the fraction. And if this is its the speed, this is its the speed, this is its the fraction. So as it comes to your the downward position, you see this is your the very small fraction is there, but though we have gone ahead, the speed is your the more. Are you clear to my students? Here some fraction is there, but the speed is your the more. But in your the solar system, the energy which it already possesses, that is your the 1.2 into 10 to the power of 7 Kelvin. But it requires 10 to the power of 9 Kelvin. For this one, the average speed we have taken, that is equals to your the 2 keV. Means the average energy for that one is 2 keV. But we have said it requires your the 4 keV. For the fusion process, it requires 400 keV, but it is your the 2 keV. Sir, it is the 2 keV only. How the 400 keV is coming? You see, this is not your the same at all places. It may be your the 2. Suppose this is the region. There are the particles are here. These particles may have your the minimum of your the 2 keV. Suppose this particle, it may have your the 50 keV. It may have your the 200 keV. It may have your the 400 keV. Are you clear to my point? They are in the random motions. So though they are in the random motions, all particles speed is not your the same. But on the overall, the average comes here, the mean one comes to your the 2 keV. But out of the crores of the particles, at least one or the two, if they have the 400 or more than of that amount of the temperature which to be created for that amount of the energy, this process to be or the started. As for the clear explanation we have seen, if this process being or the started from 1H1, 1H1, after the 3 steps, again it is providing 1H1 and 1H1. Means due to the creation of the God, the amount of the energy is automatically there, and the fusion process is continuously going there. Whatever may be your the outermost conditions, the energy always created there. But now the question comes, the energy which we found in your the fusion process and in your the fission process, which one will provide your the more energy? Just think over that one. From Maxwell's distribution of your the velocity, we came to know that if it's the average is your the 2 keV, at least one of the particles may have its the speed of your the 400 keV of your the energy, and that one when utilized there, the nuclear reaction steps which we have discussed earlier, that process will go on here the continue. Now the question comes, where it will produce here the more amount of the energy? Where it will produce the more amount of the energy? The energy per mass of which is more. Means either for the fission it to be more, or for the fusion it to be more. Suppose we will go for here the fission. In fission, in the last class we discussed the fission, and today also we came to know. In the fission, what happens? For 236 of AMU, how many energy to being released? 200 MeV approximately, because we have taken there for the 240, that divided 120 plus 120, and this 200 comes here the 226. So, for the 236, let that is equals to the 200 MeV. So, this is your the 236 mu of this one. So, for 1 mu of a nucleus will be 200 by your the 236. So, 200 by 236 will be approximately 0.85 MeV. But for your the fusion, the 3 steps which we have made, it observed that for 4 hydrogen, it gives you 26.7 of your the MeV. Means I have taken here the 3 steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. For one case, that is the 0.42 MeV, then that is your the 5.49 of the MeV, then one 12.86 of your the MeV. And if we will add of them and to make it the balance, it observes that for the 4 hydrogens, it requires here the 26.7 of the MeV amount of energy is released. Means 4 hydrogen. So, 4 hydrogen will be how much? 4 mu. So, 4 mu of hydrogen nuclei releases 26.7 of your the MeV. Then for your the 1 mu of hydrogen nuclei 26.7 by your the 4. So, 4 with the 26, that is equals to the 4 6 of your the 24. Then 2 with your the 7 27 means that is equals to approximately 6.8. Means 4 with the 7, that is equals to 24, then 2 with the 7 27 divided by your the 4, then it is, if it is the 28, then that is the 6.8 of your the MeV. If you will not take the 6.8, then you will take the 4 with the 27, means 4 7 is your 28, 4 6 will be the 24, then 3 with the 30, 4 with the 7. So, 0.67 is approximately to your the 7. So, 6.7 of your the MeV. So, for your the fission, 1 mu releases this amount of energy. For the fusion, 1 mu releases this amount of energy. Just you look over which amount of the energy is more. This amount of energy is your the more. So, in your the fission process, means in your the solar system, the amount of energy produces at any interval of the time, that is the maximum than that of your the energy which the man is creating in this world. So, this is about your the nuclear fusion and your the fission. As I said earlier, in my last class, I have given you one problem, and that problem is regarding your the half life of your the periodic table. So, I said that if 8000 will convert is decaying to your the 1000, means 8000 of your the nuclei becomes your the 1000 nuclei in 9 years. Just think over the last class I have given. So, calculate. So, now you are the Ajkugen, that is the calculate. Tomorrow it will be the late, but today it will be the gain. So, calculate the half life and the decay constant. That was your the question. Have you tried? Okay, let me make it solution. So, 8000 was initially, and now it is your the 1000, means the decay process is going on, means the number of atoms present initially, that is the N0, that is the 8000, and now it is your the 1000, that is your the N, and it takes your the 9 years, means the time is your the 9 years. So, how to make the solution? There are the 2 steps, 2 methods. Method 1. For the method 1, as I given the instruction, log of N0 by N is equals to minus lambda T. That formula I have written. So, according to this formula, just I given you the hints. So according to that, log n0, n0 means the number of presents, that is your the n0, n0 is your the n by n0, log of n by n0. So n is equals to your the 1000 by your the 8000 is equals to minus lambda t, t is the time, time is given here the 9 years, means log of 0 0 0 0 0 0, so that is the 1 by 8, 1 by 8 means that is the 2 to the power of minus 3 is equals to minus lambda of your the 9, this is your the years. So let us give the unit letter, so 9 into the, so this is equals to minus 3 of log 2 is equals to your the minus 9 lambda. So now minus minus is your the cancel. So 3 with your the 9, that is equals to your the 3. So this implies lambda is equals to log, these all log with the base e, means log e of your the 2 by your the 3. And this is equals to log of the base e which is equal to your the 0.693 by your the 3, that is the 0.231. So this is your the lambda, that is equals to your the year inverse. So calculate the value of the lambda, lambda is determined. I said yesterday, I given this formula and you put that values, first determine your the lambda. So if the lambda is known, then you can find out your the half life. So what is the formula? T half is equals to your the 1 by 0.693 by your the lambda. So that is equals to 0.693 by lambda. Lambda is equals to your the how much? That is equals to 0.231. So 0.231 means that is equals to the 3. So the half life is your the 3 years. Half life is your the 3 years. So half life is what? The time required to reduce the originally present the number of your the nuclei, means originally present was your the 8000, to reduce means to reduce to your the half, means that will take your the one time. So what is that one time? That is equals to your the 3 years. Then from that to that it will take your the another one. So therefore from 8000 to your the 1000, the half life period will be your the 3 years. You see, from the first half life it will take your the 3 years, for the next half life it will take your the 3 years, for the next half life it will take your the 3 years, means it is taking your the 3 half life numbers. So this is the method 1. According to your the method 2, according to your the method 2, the number of half life, you know, that is equals to your the n is equals to n0 by your the 2 to the power of n. N is equals to n0 by 2 to the power of n. N means number of a present, that is the 1000. N0 is equals to your the originally, that is the 8000 by 2 to the power of n. These are the cancel. So 2 to the power of n is equals to 8. Now multiplying, that is the 2 to the power of n, that is the 8. So 2 to the power of n, if that is the 8, then that is equals to your the 2 to the power of 3. So then n is equals to your the 3. N is equals to your the 3. N is equals to 3 means what? To reduce to it, say the half of the atoms. So to reduce the half of the atoms is your the 3 times is the number. So for the 1 half life it will take your the, for the 3 it is taking your the 9 years. So for your the 1 half life it will take your the 3 years. You see, the half life is your the 3 years. So this is either you will go for the method 1 or you will go for your the method 2. The answer will be the same. So with this we come to a conclusion that, so overall view is that in case of your the fissions, a large number of the nucleus to be your the split into your the lighter one, but in case of your the fission, the lighter one on combination will give you the heavier one. The second one is, in case of the fission, the amount of the energy which is produces per AMU or the per mass is less than that of the amount of energy it produces by your the fusion process. So these are the overall idea. In case of the fusion, we are giving you the hydrogen bomb and your the atom bomb. The hydrogen bomb, due to your the fission process, and the hydrogen bomb is your the fusion process. Okay, thank you very much.